Hello. Today I'll be discussing an important wildlife issue, the common misconception that carnivores are bloodthirsty animals that need to be eradicated. Since the 1800s and even before then, there was a view that carnivores were just deadly animals that were a danger to families, and so many people just killed them off without realizing how important they are to the ecosystem. And so carnivores, of course, exist across every continent, and most of these issues are in the Americas, Europe, and Africa. Um, but every management plan for each individual is very different. So I will be discussing the gray wolf since it occurs in North America, and I was really astonished by the fact that when gray wolves were introduced again to Yellowstone in the 90s, how rangers were allowed to kill a wolf if they were harming their livestock or were on their land. I thought that was crazy because they were helping the environment so much. And so I'll be discussing the pros and cons of some of the management of gray wolves. So, the most common management plan currently and for the past couple of decades for the gray wolf has been translocation. So, basically, just trapping the animal and moving it to a new location where the scientists believe that they'll be able to live and not have conflicts with ranchers or livestock. So, some of the pros for this method is that it's simply just a better option than killing off the wolf. More and more these days, people don't support, just killing of animals, um, especially for the gray wolf. Another pro is that when the wolf is captured, it usually has some type of tracking device implanted, whether it be a collar or an ear tag. And so this is really helpful for biologists to understand the movements of wolves and if translocation is really working or not. However, I would argue that there's more cons to translocation than pros. First of all, it's very expensive. It could be upwards to $3,000 to $4,000 to translocate one individual, and the payoff to a livestock head, say it's sheep, that would be lost to a wolf. If it was paid back to a farmer, it may be $1,000. So it's incredibly more expensive to move the wolf than to just pay off farmer. And in the wildlife field, as we know, there's not much money, so $4,000 is a big chunk of it. Another con is that the wolf sometimes has a good homing recognition, so even if they're moved lots of miles away, they still may be able to return to their original site, and thus the whole process of translocation uh, is ineffective. And also, wolves sometimes have conflicts with conspecifics if they are translocated to an area that already has a developed pack. And so, for my recommendations, when I was reading the literature, I didn't really find any other areas that had any ideas besides translocation. So, I would consider using tracking devices to alert ranchers when a wolf would be coming nearby into their site where their livestock is, and they could use some type of deterrent against the wolves, whether it be a sound or a smell. Um, that may be efficient. Also, again, paying off a rancher for one sheep being killed is going to be a lot less expensive than having to move the wolf. Also, education is really important because, again, people don't understand how important carnivores are. So, educating the public and ranchers on the importance of wolves is is very important. And also, if translocation is unavoidable, if we do have to use this method, I would recommend doing a soft release, which is basically just homing the pup or a wolf in a facility for a few months and then releasing it into their sites. There's been projects that have found that wolves that have had a soft release are more likely to stay within their new relocated area versus wolves with a hard release, they may be more likely to go back to the site that they were captured in. And also, it's very important for a biologist to determine if the area is suitable for the release. So, if there's adequate prey, if there's another ranch there that the wolf could go into, or if there's already a pack developed. And so, this is my recommendation for the management plan for gray wolves. And these are my references. Thank you.